Playing poker is all about mistakes and avoiding mistakes. And today we're going to talk about one of these mistakes that is actually quite avoidable. However, a lot of players make this mistake. Even professional poker players fall victim to this one, and I sometimes do it as well. Today I have a hand example here just to show you a classic example of how this works. So let's jump right into it. So here I witnessed this hand. Our hero has Queen 10 suited on the button. There is a raise on the hijack. To 10, the button goes for a 3-bet, which is absolutely fine. And then we have folds and the hijack calls the 3-bet. We go to a flop, and this flop looks really good for our hand, right? We have second pair and we have a good flush draw here. So when it checks to us, what would you do here? Would you just check? Would you bet small or would you bet big? Well, our hero here went for a really big bet, like 3/4 pot. And I think this is a mistake. This is what we call a polarization error. And the reason for that is that this hand, whilst it has great potential, if you look at it, it is not amazing. If you bet that big, you always have to ask yourself, what will you be called by? So yeah, I mean, it's not totally out of the question that you will be called by something like pocket jacks, pocket tens or so, especially with a diamond there. However, if you make it that big, you kind of isolate yourself against a range that is better than yours. Or something like the flush draw, but in general, it's a better hand than yours, a king probably, or something like ace queen at least. So here, in this situation, I would just prefer to bet either small as a range bet, which I would probably do on a king high board anyway, or it's fine to just check behind, take your equity, and then see what happens on the turn. But not our hero here. He bet really big and then he got called. Then came a blank on the turn. Our hero continues with his theme of betting really big here. So at this point, he just doubles up on his mistake. And I really wonder now, what is he gonna get called by? Yes, maybe by the nut flush draw, but basically that's the only hand that hero beats here that still calls a bet here. So he's basically kind of turning his pretty good hand into a bluff here, which is totally needless. And then on the river, he finally got there. And this was actually the most shocking bit of this. Now, when he finally gets there, he gets really scared and he only checks behind his flush because the board has paired. So this is actually another mistake, not going for value. This is not even thin value. Now you basically have to go for value here, but he decides not to. But the big mistake was the polarization error. Let me know in the comments if you have noticed this mistake in your game as well, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you very much.